I'm Chef Robert Patton with Aramark at Old Dominion University. Today our recipe is going to be zucchini spaghetti with lemon tomato sauce. This is a great alternative to pasta, substituting some vegetables for some of those carbs. Really light, refreshing, great for the summertime when that zucchini is in season. So the equipment we'll need for this recipe, we'll need a cutting board, a knife you're comfortable with. We'll probably need a vegetable peeler or a vegetable spiralizer or even a mandolin. I'll show you a couple different ways to cut the zucchini. We'll need a saute pan with a lid and maybe just a mixing bowl and a spoon to stir a zucchini. Our ingredients we'll need 6 zucchini. If they're larger, you may only need 4. If they're smaller, you may need all 6, so keep that in mind. We'll need a couple tomatoes. We'll need 1 regular onion. We'll need a couple cloves of garlic. We'll need the juice of 2 lemons. We'll need some olive oil, some salt, black pepper. We have some dried basil, and optional from the recipe is sesame seeds, which we have here today. So first thing we're going to do is try to cut our zucchini into a spiral shape or thin strips like a spaghetti. And so with a mandolin, and you can buy many different versions of mandolins from the store, and they work really great. We're going to trim the ends off of our zucchini. And we don't want to peel our zucchini. We want that, the green outer layer, it's a little firmer. When we get down to the seeds, it gets a little soft for us. So we want that exterior layer. And we're using the julienne setting for this so we can get some nice thin strands of zucchini, and we're just running our zucchini over just to get some thin strands, kind of similar to spaghetti. With a spiralizer, we might be able to get some larger strands, which might be nice, but wanted to show you a couple different alternatives. Not everyone has a vegetable spiralizer, and I don't, so we'll use a couple different methods here. You could also use carrots with this. You can use summer squash, yellow squash with this. Works equally as well. Some of our root vegetables, parsnips, turnips you could use, although they're a lot harder to shred into this size. And with our peeler, again, I'm going to trim off a little bit of our zucchini. And again, we can peel some strands. And we're going to cut these into thinner strips. You can leave them whole like this. It's very thin. It's not a bad alternative. A little thicker than spaghetti might be, but kind of mimics pappardelle, the nice wide noodle. So if you wanted a thinner strand, you can take some of these, and with your knife, we can just cut these into some thinner strands. So now we have something that mimics the spaghetti. Okay, now that we have our zucchini strands, kind of similar to spaghetti, we can cut our other vegetables and get those ready. We're going to take 1 medium-sized onion. We've trimmed the ends off. We're going to slice this in half. We're going to dice this up. So we want to peel our exterior layer. And then we'll quickly dice this up. So we're just going to use enough olive oil to coat the bottom of our pan. A couple tablespoons. I like to give our onions just a little head start of our tomatoes. We're on like a medium-high heat. You don't want your onions to burn, but you want them to soften. If they caramelize, no big deal there. So now we need a couple cloves of garlic, and these are already peeled, and so we can just smash these down with your knife, and we're just going to mince these up pretty fine. Once our garlic is minced, we're going to add it right to the onion. Next, we're going to work on our tomatoes, and we need 2 tomatoes, and we're just going to chop these, but we want to certainly take out the core of our tomatoes. So with a paring knife or a tomato shark, you can chop that little core away. And we're going to use the seeds, the juice, everything of our tomato. Okay. Give our onion a little stir. Onion and garlic is cooking away. And so our tomato, we can just kind of rough chop. We're just going to cut into some slices. Once all of our tomatoes are cut, we're going to get added to our onions and garlic. Give our board a little white. Give this a good stir. Get everything combined. At this point, we're going to season it up. So we have a few pinches of salt, a little pinch of black pepper, and we also have some dried basil. Okay? And you can certainly use other herbs, maybe dried oregano, dried thyme. We're going to give a good pinch of dried basil in there. We're going to let that cook for a few minutes, and we're going to cover that. Okay, our tomatoes and onions and garlic and seasoning has cooked for a little bit, a few minutes. We're going to add the juice of 2 lemons. You can also add the zest if you have a zester. You can zest some lemon zest into there. I'll add a little bit of freshness to it. We're going to give these a little bit of roll and press on our cutting board. That'll get more juice out of them. And we're just going to squeeze some juice in, being careful not to lose any seeds. At this point, we're going to add our zucchini spaghetti. We don't want to salt our zucchini prior to going into the pan. The zucchini will get soft. The salt will draw out some of the moisture, and it'll get really soggy. So we want to wait until it goes into the pan to do that. Everything into our pan, combined. We're going to give that a few minutes just to soften. Maybe 3 to 5 minutes to cook, soften up. We'll make sure it's well combined. We'll check our seasoning, and then we'll go from there. Okay, we're back. Our zucchini has cooked for about 3 to 5 minutes. We're actually about 4 minutes right now. You don't want to let this cook too long. You don't want the zucchini to get too soggy. So we have a couple nice bowls here, and we're just going to use a pair of tongs and pile our zucchini on a plate. And then a spoon for some of our tomatoes and some of our sauce. Then we're going to garnish this. We have some sesame seeds, and you can toast those in a dry pan or in an oven real quick just to get some of the flavor out. So we're going to sprinkle some of that on for garnish. So here we have our zucchini spaghetti with lemon tomato sauce. We have onions, garlic, some basil in there, juice of our fresh lemons, garnished with some sesame. Great alternative to pasta, completely plant-based, no other cheese or dairy in this, so great for vegans, very nutritious, very healthy, very light and refreshing. I'm Chef Robert Patton with Aramark and Old Dominion University. Hope you enjoy.